Hello there and welcome to Oxygen Not Included. I've got Banny 2 working in a dangerous environment because I accidentally pulled Ruby from space before she'd finished getting all the databanks that I needed. Although I have no need for this aluminium volcano, I do want its databanks. So once it has given me what I need, I will cap it with a coal shift plate. I'm hoping the 2 unanalysed vents will give me enough databanks that I won't need to send Ruby back to space. Looks like it's the end of shift for Banny 2. Stinky's come to take over the analysing. Great work, Stinky. Let's see how many databanks we got from that. 9 databanks, so I think I need another 6 more. I don't think the duplicates are going to be fast enough to get the temperature shift plate made out of coal onto the volcano before it erupts again. No, they didn't, but that's not a problem. We'll get it next time. Here's our second unanalysed vent. We shall dig down and start analysing it. I might use this gas vent later to grow some balm lilies for their seeds to feed to the fish. I'm going to stack a little steel production because I'm not working on any big projects at the moment, so I have spare duplicates. Have a broken light above the rock crusher, which I won't blame the duplicates for. I believe this is my fault. I crossed a heavy watt wire with some conductive wire. So break out the health and safety equipment. We're going to change a light bulb, guys. I'd built this section 5 high for the ease of adding automation, but it does make little bits of maintenance like this a bit more difficult because I have to build some ladders up to reach the roof. This is the third unlock for this week. The other 2 I was doing tasks that were no way interesting to record to put onto YouTube, but I caught this while I was doing something more interesting. I have an egg cracker in my kitchen, so let's go and do the upgrade. The upgrade works, but because it's see-through glass, it doesn't work very well with the white tiles behind it. Oh well, there's always next week to pick up something interesting like that rocket bed. Oh, we've got Banny 2 back on the case, analysing the vent. One vent analysed. Let's see how many databanks we got for it. 8 databanks. I believe that's enough to finish the research off. Indeed it is. I've been using a fair bit of Obsidian in my builds recently. Building around the rocketry program demands the use of Obsidian so things don't melt when rockets land and take off. I have future plans of tapping into 2 volcanoes, which can also require some Obsidian. I have no desire to get partway through a build project and run out of the stuff, so here I am, about to break into an Obsidian and steam node. The steam inside the node is really hot. 500 degrees Celsius, which is greater than the overheat temperature of a thermal aqua tuner. But I think with some careful management, deconstructing and then rebuilding the aqua tuner, I can tame this obsidian nodule. Initially, this thermal aqua tuner is just going to be used to cool the steam turbines. But once I have the steam under control, I'm going to want to cool down the obsidian before I bring it out of the nodule. I'd rather not have duplicates carrying around 500 degrees Celsius obsidian debris and dropping it into a water liquid lock. So this is going to be a multi-stage project. The first stage is control the steam temperature, then we'll excavate all of the obsidian, then add this obsidian to a conveyor rail to extract all its heat, then we'll fill in the void where we extracted the obsidian. and try to avoid dumping excess heat into the local environment. Here is the liquid cooling loop planned out, including the section where we'll forcibly cool the obsidian debris before it leaves the steam room. The conveyor cooling section is going to be exactly the same as the volcano tamers I've already built this series. Oops, I forgot to add the automation for the thermal aqua tuner. Thankfully it's not a problem at this stage. So I make sure there's some exposed pipe, and then I can add the thermo pipe sensor and attach that to the thermoregulator. I'm not going to be hooking up these steam generators to the power spine. I actually need to be burning the natural gas to produce the carbon dioxide for my slicksters. So this will be a self-contained unit. Although I won't be using the debris cooler for a while, I just wanted to plan out where it was going to be. And then I started planning, and then I thought I'll just build it. We have the system fully set up now. The cooling loop is filled with polluted water, but obviously nothing is powered because this is a self-contained system. Carefully just demolishing the insulated tiles because I don't want to demolish the pipework underneath and let polluted water into my vacuum. And the last thing I need to build for the steam generators is the output pipe. Removing the insulated wall has also opened the last ports for the input to the steam generator as well. So we're going to break into the nodule now. Both the obsidian and the steam is at about 500 degrees Celsius. So by definition we are dealing with superheated steam. The steam in here is also under a high pressure, so we're having to deal with a lot of energy that the steam generators are going to have to delete. If I had access to thermium, none of this would be a problem, but because I'm tackling it a little bit early, because I want the obsidian, it's going to take a little managing. I will have to monitor the damage that the thermal aqua tuner takes, and I'll definitely have to inhibit the flow of steam to the generators. Catalina has got the unenviable task of breaking into the steam cavity within the nodule. Hopefully she won't get burnt, but if she does, I have the hospital beds on standby and the doctor is ready. There's just a little bit of anticipation on my end. Run, Catalina! The initial steam is cooled by the infrastructure within the steam room, forming a rain of condensed water. Some idiot built the infrastructure out of lead, which is rather confusing to me because the last time I built this, I built it out of steel for the copper volcano. Both steam generators are working at 100%, supplying the power to the thermal aqua tuner, which is cooling down the water and therefore keeping the steam generators in their working and efficient temperature range. The superheated steam has now melted the lead, which shows the temperature is above the maximum for the aqua tuner, even if it's made out of steel. The pressure in the room is slowly rising as more steam makes its way from the nodule into the steam generators. I'm just going to let this run for a while. So I've been running this for 4 cycles in the background and decided it was time to come in and do some maintenance. So I deleted the thermal aqua tuner and replaced it with a brand new one. Cleaned up the liquid lead that was in the bottom of the steam room. I've also built a insulated tile to stop more steam entering the room, and I'm building a metal tile to allow temperature to flow into the steam room. So I can now leave this setup in the background running for a while to slowly draw out a little bit more temperature from the obsidian. It's time to alter the setup in our rocket. We will no longer need any more data banks. But we will need a rocket to do some exploration. We're going to move the toilets and put a telescope there. And this is the newly designed exploration rocket. We will need to upgrade what rocket modules this is stacked upon to get the extra range we need to get to the closest asteroid. I've now managed to completely clean up the space biome, sweep up all the debris into one place, and this little job took over 3 hours. So all the debris that's been swept into one place is going to be dropped into the base. Well, the top of the base is looking all clean and shipshape. A quick view of the rest of the map, because I haven't shown you this in quite some time. My future plans is to build a sour gas boiler in the position where I marked on the map. As I have two volcanoes very close together, I want to use both of their heat to boil the petroleum. When working with magma, you do not want an atmosphere. You want to do it in a vacuum. So as the standard double liquid lock, then I'm going to dig out this huge area. As both volcanoes are in a node, they are already uncapped and surrounded by magma, which increases the difficulty in dealing with them. I will also have a lot of hot rocks to remove as well. I'm going to need space materials to make my sour gas boiler, but by starting the project a little earlier I can have things prepped. I can make sure that there's a substantial quantity of lava ready for use. The present steam node I'm dealing with is temperatures of 500 degrees Celsius. The magma nodes have a temperature of 1500 degrees Celsius. I will have to be more cautious. 14 cycles have elapsed and our steam generators are chewing through the steam quite nicely. Everything is working as I had planned. As you can see, the research is all completed. I'm rather glad I didn't have to send Ruby back into space just to get 2 or 3 data banks to finish this off. So that gets me the Honorary Doctorate achievement. I looked it up on Steam and only 2.3% of people that own Oxygen Not Included have earned this. And I guess of those 2.3%, the people that have earned it more than once. While I was looking at the achievements, I noticed that I'd never got moving on up, Tame a Grassy Moo. Only 0.3% of the player base has done that, so it's maybe something I'll do in the future. Well, as soon as it's all finished, I have no need for this temporary setup for my radiation research. One moment I'm upgrading a rocket and I'm very happy with how it's going, and the next I realise that I'm not recording. So that was vexing. But here is my new rocket that I'll be sending out later to explore space, set up new colonies and acquire shiny new materials for me to use. I've now double checked that my recording software is actually working, and we're going to go internally and upgrade the living area for Ruby. I thought it would be a simple upgrade, but I made it look really difficult. I'm going to upgrade the mess hall to a grand hall and give Ruby a comfy bed, but I make it a right pig's ear and mess out of doing this upgrade. I also realise all my decor items have been made out of sandstone instead of granite, so I'll go around and upgrade all those as well. A grand hall needs a minimum of 32 tiles. I am presently only at 25. I've shifted everything over slightly, so now I will soon have enough space for a grand hall. I'm only one tile short, so that shouldn't be a very big problem to sort out. I have 20 tiles of range with this rocket. I should be able to explore the 2 question marks to the right and the 3 at the top of the map. I'm going to turn the oxalite production on because it does take some time to produce a suitable quantity for a long distance flight. It's time to do some more excavation in the Obsidian and Steam node. I'm going to excavate all of this obsidian, but later on I will backfill this area with sandstone and run some cooling pipes through the block. Initially filled with petroleum for when the sandstone is over 100 degrees Celsius, but eventually I'll drain the petroleum out and run cold water through it, bringing the sandstone down to room temperature and then excavating that. And that will be the end of the project. Over the next few months, the output of my Oxygen Not Included videos might decrease. There's a number of factors at play, the first being that I have to play a lot more to get a lot less footage. That, combined with how long it takes me to edit these things, is going to put a time restraint on me being able to produce these episodes. The other restraint is more of a physical one. My flat has all south-facing windows, which is nice during the winter because it gets a little bit more warmth, but during the summer it makes it unbearably hot, which reduces my gaming time till midnight onwards. The second factor will obviously decrease all my video output, but c'est la vie. We can now leave the steam turbines to work through the steam and gently reduce its temperature. But as you can see, this is going to be an ongoing project. Well, that's a bit of deja vu. We're going to send Ruby to space again. This time she's boldly going where no duplicant has gone before. She's exploring. Before the rocket returns, I will need to have a cooling unit for the rocket plume. I don't want these hot gases melting everything in my base, but I should be able to utilise this heat to produce some electricity, or that's the plan anyway. Getting Ruby to take the atmospheric suit off so she doesn't use up all her oxygen. Making sure Ruby can use the Grand Hall to get the morale bonus so she doesn't become stressed. Of course we're taking the snazzy outfit. Well, Banny 2's been doing a lot of work. It seems fitting that she should get the snazzy outfit to wear. Can't have slicksters running amok in my base producing oil everywhere. Sorry bud, you gotta go. Well, that's it for today's episode. Thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the other side.